Hello, welcome back to Music Mitra, and this is a channel where we learn Carnatic music in a very easy to understand manner. We discuss topics related to classical music so that more people can understand this art form and practice it if possible. So today we are going to discuss about our music practice. Now, all music students, some of them might not be even a student, but those who like to sing songs always try to practice something, right? Maybe you practice the song that you want to learn, like you like a song and you want to sing it, and then you try to sing it, you learn it, you look at videos or you look at the recordings, you see various artists singing it, and then you try to practice along with it. If you're a student of Carnatic music or any classical music, you sit down to practice the lessons that are taught to you. So, some way or the other, all of us who are inclined towards music are familiar with what is known as a music practice session. Now, today we are going to understand what is the depth of music practice that one can delve into. So, let us see the most basic. So number one, the most basic practice of music is what we call technical practice. Technical practice is nothing but trying to understand the swarasthanas, and then you try to get your voice to produce those frequencies of the swaras, right? Suppose you are learning Sarali Varse, so you have to do sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So the exact interval between ri and ga and ma, we need to get it correctly, and then we learn how to sing the swaras. That is known as technical practice, means trying to get the voice to produce certain frequencies. Now, the second, very important, is the compositional practice or the content practice. Now, what is the content we are talking about? What we are learning, right? The compositional forms, whether it is simple swara exercises, swaravalis or alankarams, and then you go to Geetam, so you memorize something and then you try to reproduce it. So you are now concentrating on understanding that composition, whether, the set of swaras, how it works and all those things, and trying to memorize it and reproduce it in your mind. So this involves a lot of mind work, memorizing, those kind of things. So that is again a very important aspect of practice. So this was number 2. Then we go to number 3. Here we get into a little more intellectual practice. Now when I say intellect, now we did technical practice, we did content practice. Now intellectually when I practice, I'm using a lot of my analytical mind, and I'm trying to decipher where this raga is different from another raga that I know. The nuances. We are getting into more complex aspects of raga. We are getting into understanding. Again, it's a little bit technical also, but it's not pure technical like we did in the earlier stage. We are just trying to connect notes and how to move between the notes. That is very basic. Now here we are trying to move between the ragas. We are trying to move between compositional forms. So you have a little more thinking to do. So there is a lot of analysis, lot of questioning, lot of comparison between certain melodies, certain phrases, how this raga treats a note, whereas how that raga treats a note, and all that. So it is analytical, but at the same time it is very intellectually rich kind of a practice. So we need to be very involved with that, whatever we are taking that subject. So this was level 3. Then we come to level 4. Level 4 is basically voice training. how we can improve our voice. Now we know so many things about the technicalities. We know the swarasthanas, we know the compositions, we know about ragas. But if our voice does not cooperate, or if our voice is not soothing to the ear, it's not melodious, it's not sweet, it's not something that makes you, when you yourself hear your voice, you're not happy with the voice, you need to polish it a better. You get a polished voice, we call it trained voice. That involves a lot of singing, certain exercises, etc., which we did in the first analytical phase, but then we do it on a repetitive, consistent, daily basis, like polishing the voice. So that is another aspect of music practice. And then comes the final, which is very, very spiritual. Once you reach that phase, it is bliss. So there the technicalities doesn't matter. The compositional forms are already there for you, like you don't have to worry about it, it's already there. And then the raga, you immerse yourself, you're not thinking about technicalities per se of the raga, but that raga takes you over. And then this only very few musicians who evolve to that stage will experience, but that I'm sure is a blissful experience. And even for a lay person or a person like us who are just, we are not great musicians, but at our level also, if we can immerse ourselves into a raga, like, each raga has so much of emotion behind it. There are happy ragas, there are sad ragas, there are ragas which can ignite fire. They say there are ragas that can bring rain. So there is so much of vibrational aspect to ragas that, it is like an entity. And then sometimes when we sing a raga, we can, get so involved in that raga that you forget the technicalities, you forget the compositions, but that raga kind of envelops you, and then the raga lifts you, and then you are in some other space. Many musicians talk about it, I'm sure you heard. But at a normal person like us, we too can experience it if we immerse ourselves in that, whatever we are singing, with the right emotion, whether it is bhakti, whether it is the sense of love or devotion or longing, whatever is the emotion that raga or that composition brings out. And when we become one with that, it takes you into a different realm, and then you forget everything. There you don't even worry about what swara you sang or what, it will automatically come. But then you are like lifted up, you kind of float in the beauty of that raga. So that is the highest level of practice which we all should aim to reach one day, where we are spiritually experiencing music. So we technically experience music, then we contextually experience, like the content wise we experience the music, then we get into the raga system, understanding ragas, very intellectually trying to compare and do things with different ragas, trying to understand them, writing notes, all that is there. Then we work on our voice, and then ultimately all this leads to that, where you become one with music. The raga just, lifts you, the raga just elevates you to a different state, which is bliss. And let us all strive to one day reach that, enjoy music in such a way that it removes all our suffering, it removes all our worries. And music is, first of all, the universal language, right? Even if you don't know the lyrics of a song, sometimes the music just is so touching. Some people can sing very technically correct, very, authentic, everything is there, beautiful voice, but sometimes it just doesn't touch one's soul. Whereas there are people who sing, maybe they are not very sweet in their voice, or they might not be very technically correct, but somehow their music touches your heart. So that is where this bringing the soul into your singing comes, and that comes at the last level where we evolve ourselves, but we have to go through all these steps of practice to finally reach that stage where you become one with your singing. You sing with your soul, you sing with your spirit, and then it becomes not only a very um, fulfilling experience for you, and plus also for your listener. So this was just a discussion. I was just discussing with somebody the other day, and then this idea of, what is actually music practice, where are we? And you realize that many of us are just stuck in that level 1. We are still deciphering the swarasthanas, how to do. Yes, we have to, that's very important. But if you have been learning music for a while, or if you have been involved with singing for a while, you will realize that we need to slowly start moving upwards, get into more of abstractness than concreteness. Things that cannot be explained. Music is something that, there is so much. I always tell my students, music is one such field where the more you learn, you realize you don't know anything. You are such an idiot because there's so much out there. It's like the big Pacific Ocean, and what you know so far is like a drop. And the more you learn, it makes you more and more humble too. So I hope this sudden discussion on this, it was not a planned video, but I just felt like talking about it. Have you ever thought about the different aspects of music practice? And let me know, which level are you, and which level do you think you will enjoy the most, where it will be more fulfilling and more enriching for one's life. So let us strive to get past the mundane technical musicalities, and then get into more satisfying, more soul touching, more spiritual aspect of singing. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video. Until then, stay subscribed, share the video with other music lovers, and I will see you soon. Bye.